Our final topic for this episode is our top 5 board games that you would love to live in, parentheses, and why. Now, I'm assuming, I don't know how you all did this, and I purposely did not try to define it, but I'm assuming you mean the themes?
The themes,
right?
For me, maybe not live in permanently, go visit.
Mine is in the idea of, like, if I took a VR trip there and had no repercussions.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, no, I went with,
You
actually
live there forever.
You're there. That's
Like,
okay.
you could live in forever?
I mean, whether, yeah.
All right, cool.
Well, mine could work out that way as well, but mine was semi-permanent kind of thing.
All right, so to give, so what we normally do is we just go around with our number 5, then number 4, whatever. We're gonna start with Matt. That way, we give George the privilege of ending with his number 1.
All right, that's an honor.
My number 5 is adrenaline. It sounds like it'd be
You
fun
want to shoot people
to run around and shoot everyone.
and get shots?
Again,
That's the part
on the preface of I am not staying here permanently.
Yeah.
I'm just visiting.
But you get to respawn.
You get to respawn. Yeah.
Infinite respawn.
Infinite respawns. Test out my shooting abilities and survivability. So
It'd be like, what's that movie, The Day After Tomorrow or something?
Yeah.
yeah, day after tomorrow.
With Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It used to be called...
Groundhog Day.
no, not Groundhog Day. It used to be called All You Need Is Kill. The
Oh,
Japanese version, which is a much better title.
Yeah.
The names that the Japanese name of the
It actually wasn't.
What was the other one you said? The pancreas?
Oh, I want to eat your pancreas. That's a tender love story.
Oh, nice. It sounds like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now where's your number 5?
All right. Number 5 for me is Friday. You're
This is escalated quickly.
You want to test your surviving.
Yeah, you're on a deserted island all by yourself, relax on the beach. Or
I just want to, you know what? You can live in that world and you can visit California and go to that one thing we talked about.
Hey, Robinson Crusoe made my short list.
Did
I
it?
will say
Okay.
that. So
I did think about it myself, but I thought
Yeah.
then I would die.
what? How you would survive?
Have you played Friday a lot?
Yeah, well, I guess you don't survive in Friday. But also, I could change it to like Bora Bora, I guess. Somewhere more,
yeah.
a little nicer.
My number 1 was Hawaii, and my number 2 is
Vanuatu.
just places you want to go.
Prague.
I want to go visiting all these places.
Well, speaking of escalating it quickly, my number 5 is Wasteland Express Delivery Service because Mad Max, right? So I don't know if I'd want to live in the Mad Max world, but it would be cool to experience it from a, like a dream, like a lucid dream. But it's interesting because you're basically a trucker, right?
Yeah.
And you're not the target as much. Well, I guess you are a target, but
You could be a guitarist.
that's true. And just rock out with flamethrowers.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really like the theme of it. Obviously, Mad Max is such a cool theme, and it's just over the top and silly, and that's a great theme. Great theme. I don't like the desert. I actually don't like a lot of desert.
You don't want to be hot.
Well, like I'm not interested so much in like Egyptian themes. I don't mind them, but I don't gravitate towards them. But like, even though Mad Max is literally a desert planet, it works out.
Yeah.
Probably because it's ludicrous.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Except it would be hell to live there.
Yeah. It would. Yeah. I'm operating under the premise that I want to
You get to come
Be
back.
there for a day.
experience it and I come back. Yeah.
Okay,
Time
fair.
travel without the
Any negatives?
right.
Yeah. Well, my first one, maybe is kind of the same. Like, maybe I wouldn't really want to live like this. And I thought about when I started the list. I thought, I'll just be selfish. I'll go with Last Will. Because he's going to spend all the money he wants.
That'd be a fun one. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I put Tanto Cuore because I could have like tons of maids.
There, got it.
But then
Think
that
about
game
that.
is just way
Yeah.
too perverted, so I'm not doing that. So these are the ones I crossed out.
Yeah.
And I went with
Did you not tell him we have an honorable mention?
We do.
we
You
do.
could have added
Yeah,
these
yeah.
as honorable
well,
mentions.
no, it's okay. Okay, I'm good.
Do you have an honorable mention?
Yeah, no, I crossed out a whole bunch. It's fine.
Oh, that's fine. Okay. So when we get to that, you can add the rest of them.
So I went with Mice and Mystics. Because
Okay.
I
Like-
thought of this one day.
Did you? Yeah, because the story is so good. The adventure of it, it's just the story and the it would be a very just engrossing world, I think.
It'd be like,
Nice.
bam, spawn, stepped on. That was great, guys.
The cat.
Thanks.
Brody
Yeah.
just
cat.
munches
Thanks
it.
for sending me to
Oh
that.
no, killed by cockroaches.
Okay, that didn't think of that.
Yeah.
You know, that would be a kind of a cool. You know how Quantum Leap would send people,
Oh,
like send the guy
Yes,
back in
yes.
time and stuff
Yeah.
into somebody's body.
That's on my list.
Oh, is
was
it?
it?
Yeah, we'll get to it later.
Oh, okay.
good.
Well, like do that, but like into different.
I think it's
realms.
on mine too.
Quantum Leap.
No,
No.
nothing.
Oh, okay.
We're
Well,
thinking
all
of
right.
the same one.
Number
Yeah.
4.
My number 4
Oh, I know
is
what you did.
Terran Meeple City, also known as Rampage.
Would you be one of the rampagers?
No, I want to be a kaiju, dude. I'm tearing up cities. I'm smashing buildings.
So you just want to be
Breathing
flicked in the
fire.
head a whole lot?
Yeah. I mean, I guess, but I'm tearing stuff up. I'm eating meeples. I'm doing everything. I'm tearing out teeth, doing all the good stuff.
They did put that like tabletop simulator, but with the first person mode. So as you get flicked, you get spectated as another player. So
Yeah.
like I'm flicking it, but the other player is spectating from the eyes of the Meeple. Rah!
How would you do the blowing part
Oh, I don't
A
know.
blow fire
on Tabletop
No,
Simulator? That'd be
like
rough.
you blow the
and tabletop.
you get on top of your guy, and you blow the Meeples around,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
actually blowing
It's hilarious.
with your mouth.
Nudge, flick. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you would do it.
Spread communicable diseases, but it's fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if that action's usually taken that much though. Right? Do you ever see it?
I try it.
Yeah.
I'll try it, but I'm lousy.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common.
I don't even get all the candles out on my cake.
Yeah. We experienced this. I'm gonna go to number 4 on me as Red Dragon Inn. You're a party, right?
Oh, is this where they fight?
No, you
No,
drink.
no.
You
Yeah,
drink
you're
the whole
drinking,
time.
You're gambling. They're your fantasy characters, right?
Okay, that's
You-
brilliant.
Eric's like,
Yeah.
oh, drunk quest.
Anything with drinking. No, you know, you did all your stuff. You're going back to the inn and you're partying it up. You're gambling, you're drinking. Whoever, who basically the last person conscious wins the game. So, yeah.
Right.
It sounds like a good time.
Oh, that's good.
Jeez.
You
I
can
mean,
play
you
that
could just
one.
enroll in college again.
That's like a Tuesday. That's fine.
Right.
My number 4 is Legend of the Five Rings. So I had to pick some sort of Japanese style game, and this one just makes a lot of sense. I used to know more about the story when I played it years ago, before the Final Fantasy Flight obtained it.
Mm-hmm.
Though I can't remember 100%. It has magic in it, right? Does it? I
don't know.
Maybe it
I
doesn't.
honestly don't know, but I know it has a lot of story. It's
It has
very-
a lot of
very
story. I
involved.
mean, it has a whole role-playing game based off of it.
People LARP on this.
Yeah. Oh, do they?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. But so they have a whole RPG system and everything. It's so cool, like with the different clans or whatever and stuff, and the story behind the rings and
That's a
everything.
good pick.
It's just a really cool. I don't know. If I was gonna pick a Japanese thing, I mean, might as well just go full blown anime. So
Yeah. No, that's a good pick. All the intrigue and all that.
yeah.
Really interesting.
Which also reminds me, I need to read it because I own it now. I haven't played it. The new one.
Right.
So
Okay, I was still going with the sort of adventuring theme, like from Mice and Mystics, and I went with my next one is Near and Far,
Oh.
where you go out. And,
Who was doing that? Was that you? Grover in the house.
That's pretty good. You go out on these sort of camping expeditions, and you go find these places of power or story, and on the way you have pack kiwis that carry your stuff, and these giant tortoises that carry your stuff, and there's like mechs basically, and that are
that's
in
almost
town.
the book that you flip, right?
Yeah, yeah. So it has all these interesting sort of races. There are these what are they, glow balls or whatever. They're the like frog people, lizard people, and
Yeah.
so there's just different races that can join your party, and it's. I think it would be very interesting just sort of interact in that world.
Oh yeah.
That'd
Definitely.
be cool. Yeah.
And there's
I want to play the game.
we should play it.
Yeah.
And you have a dog that can come along with you on your
That's all Matt right there.
as part of your party. It's a full member of your party though. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, Eric, you can't come because the dog.
Right,
the dog
yeah.
is coming. We've already got 4.
Yeah.
We're full up.
So that you.
Yep.
Yeah.
My number 3 might be in George's, but I want to be a critter. I want to be an Everdale.
Yeah.
I want to own
That is the-
shops.
that's
I want to sell squishy berries to people or collect them, I guess. But I want to do fun critter things.
Drink at a tavern with a badger.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fair.
I want
That's
to hang out
fair.
with the critters. Yeah. So I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Absolutely. On the list.
Just
That's
hang,
fair.
just hang out with critters.
Number 3 for me is the 10-day series.
The what?
10-day series, 10 days in Africa, 10 days in the USA, 10 days in Europe. It's all about going around and traveling. So
It's a vacation.
it is
So,
vacation.
it's just-
I'm gonna live in my
That's
vacation.
like, my number 1 is Bora Bora. This is great. My number 3 is Mage Knight. So when I used to play Mage Knight, the miniature game back in the day, it had, I was more invested in the story and everything.
You
and
want to
it-
burn down the chapel?
Well, so the Mage Knight story itself, actually, I didn't even like that. I like the specific faction. They're kind of like knights, basically, like medieval faction or whatever. Anyway, so I don't know. I just really liked the theme that was going on. They had like the Dracona and all that stuff, and they had a lot of cool stuff. It's very much like my next one.
I'm gonna go on vacation.
Yeah.
You're gonna go adventuring.
Yeah, it's like the adventuring side of the table over here.
Absolutely. We're not quite done adventuring. I'm on number 3 now. And I was going to say I wanted something with magic in it. More magic than Mice and Mystics, I guess. And so I thought of Argent the Consortium, because I thought that'd be really cool. It's sort of like Harry Potter kind of thing, you know, going around. And then I thought, well, it's also this whole like academia setting and having to get people on your side and become provost or whatever. It's really boring. So that one was out. And I decided to go with Fantastica.
Oh, we played this, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
Which it's more of a whimsical
But
kind
with
of
better
setting.
components, right?
Yeah, it's great. Great components. No, I don't think I've house ruled this one, but
So if you wanted to go
this game is
more
perfect.
Harry Potter, maybe Arcane Academy.
Oh, that's a good choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like the critters. I like the
Ah.
Fantastica. I think I'll stick with that. I'm with
Except
you on
there's
the
like
critters.
no theme to that, but that's fine.
Hey,
No theme?
It's Arcane Academy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like got like 5 pieces of art, and it's like sweet.
you got all the artwork art, or the card art.
So number 2.
Yeah.
I'm usually not too big on sci-fi kind of stuff, but this one actually intrigues me because you could literally have lots of different experiences, but time stories would be really cool
I've seen
to
that.
live in and be
Yes.
put into the body of someone else. I can't remember exactly the receptacle,
Receptacles.
and just go around and experience all these different kind of stories because I
Yeah.
mean they literally go through the 1920s insane asylum. They have the dragons of medieval times and.
If I would
All
have
that good
thought
stuff.
for 3 seconds, I would have answered my own question. Why don't they make a game like Quantum Leap where you jump around?
That's what I thought you were talking about. Right.
That would be really interesting. Going back, you still probably don't want to die, but if you do, you can.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't
Well-
matter. Yeah.
Well, I guess because you're actually manipulating time at that point, right? Are you? Or are you just experiencing?
that's what
No,
you're-
you are manipulating time, but you can go back. Before that happened again.
Of course,
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep on going back
Oh
and
my God.
redoing
Yeah.
it.
I've been doing
Until
this
you
for
get it right.
6 years and I can't fix it.
I can't stop it from happening.
Yeah, you're not actually manipulating time, except maybe you are. No spoilers. Sorry.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
There's another one that's similar to Time Stories called Tragedy Looper.
Oh, we
played that.
It was
Yeah.
Yes.
The same
It
idea,
was-
right?
Did
Yeah.
you like that?
brain burning.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like this kind of logic
we
games.
didn't feel the same.
No, I like the logic game, but I felt like that was like 400 years of rules to play
Right.
for like,
It's a tricky.
yeah.
very
It's tricky to get through.
heavy.
It's done really well. My problem is it's not replayability. Like
Well, there's that, but there's all these expansions to it. My problem with it
You
is
don't need expansions because it came with like so many.
it did.
right,
I
exactly.
think it came with 10,
More than we
maybe
played.
14 or something.
The thing that was difficult about it for me is that there's no actual story. You don't know what's going on. You don't have a coherent story like you do in Time
You
Stories.
have to make it up.
You have to make it up. That's
Right.
house rule. So,
Yes.
Fair enough.
House roll.
yeah.
Number 2, I'm guessing you guys don't have it, but it's Candyland. 'Cause why not?
Eric wants to get drunk and eat candy and spend his time in Hawaii.
Yeah,
Land of milk and honey.
right. You're going down on like candy slides and yeah,
So
everybody's having a good time.
you did like a Willy Wonka board game.
Right.
I'm thinking Big Rock Candy Mountain. Kind of the same.
Well, my number 2 is not Candyland. It's World of Warcraft.
Oh.
Which, I mean, it's just so good.
Some people spend their.
I mean, yeah,
Some
I pretty much.
Some people
Warcraft.
do this.
Yeah, that is their life.
I
My
pretty
brother-
much did live in this game for many years.
My brother's
so,
already there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So I don't know. I really like just the fantasy magic kind of typical thing, I guess. But World of Warcraft's got such a really cool story to it. I mean, obviously they have tons of novels. They have video games that have like crazy amounts of story.
Movie. There will be movies.
The movie
which
wasn't too
apparently
bad.
is impossible to find on Blu-ray, but
Was
that's
it not
fine.
bad?
Oh, I have it.
On
Warcraft?
Blu-ray?
Yeah.
I heard it was kind of bad.
I didn't mind it.
What, the
I
movie?
thought it was pretty
I-
decent. I mean, it
it's
wasn't like
okay.
awesome, but it was watchable.
If they get to about the third one storyline, it'll be great. I think they went a little too far back origin wise.
Gotcha.
Oh, I got you.
I think they should have started just a hair earlier. but-
Yeah. Pro tip: stop doing origin movies, people.
Yeah.
I mean, stop it.
Agreed.
Especially if you don't have plans yet to continue the series.
Yeah.
Don't start with
pro-
origins.
Probably had plans to. I don't think it did well enough for them to.
You know what movie did great and it did not have an origin movie?
What's that?
Star Wars. It started on episode 4. It's tried and true, people. You don't have to have an origins movie to begin.
That's true. And then when they did the Origins movies, they were bad.
Oh, yeah, there you go. See?
Never do it.
So-
Damn it, Jar Jar.
No. Midichlorians.
Blaming on Jar Jar.
I will blame it on Jar Jar.
I will back you up on that. Okay, so Matt and I have very similar lists, and so rather than go with Everdell, which I would have done for my number 2, I'll go with Dale of Merchants because
okay.
it's critters. It's this whole world of critters that have different professions and cultures, and it's that'd be great.
And I read the story, or not read the story, but told everybody story. You're trying to be the best merchant to get into the guild.
Right, it's nonviolent. It's
Yeah.
a
The
nonviolent
guild.
world.
Right. The guild of Dell. Very exclusive. Only one person a year.
Fair enough.
Just don't let the crocodiles in because they're butts.
Yeah.
Honorable mention, Matt.
Honorable mention. I went really generic. I just said typical IP games. Because there's so many of them that probably would have made up the whole list. So you got like Shadowrun, Fallout, Warhammer, Warcraft. I mean, all the IPs that they have board games of.
Cool.
Any Lovecraftian. I want to be.
Nah, you don't want to do that.
Oh, I want to, because I've got the strength. I would not go crazy if I
Right.
saw the
Okay.
craziness. My mind would hold it.
You
I
want to
would
see Cthulhu.
I want to see them and be like, no, you will not drive me mad.
Because that happens in those stories, does it?
What's that?
That they win out in the end.
Yeah.
Well, that's whatever. I'll change that. I'll rewrite history.
So I had a couple viticulture because hey, well, making some wine. You get some
I actually thought of this one too, Eric. I thought of this.
I don't know. That's true. That's true.
sushi
What
go.
is this?
Eat some sushi.
Sushi.
Eric's whole thing is of drinks and
Yeah,
food.
drinks and food and places to go.
And
Vacation.
donuts for donuts. And-
Oh, that's a good one. And I got no thanks because anytime you get something that you don't want, you'd be like, no thanks, give them a chip. So
No thanks.
no thanks.
You know,
Here's a
It's
chip.
a bunch of chips and numbers.
Yeah.
What in
Yeah,
the
whenever
world?
you get something that you don't want, you're like, no thanks, don't want that. My car broke down, no thanks. Have a chip instead.
Eric's like Mad Libs over here. He just fills in the blanks. You know the one games that aren't on your list is negotiation games.
I don't need to negotiate.
It's like your
No
life.
Just say no, thanks.
No negotiating.
The problem with that game is when you run out of chips.
Never run out. You take one card, you get them all back. You get one bad thing.
My honorable mention is Noria because I have a fascination with games that takes place on floating islands. Like, I really think that every MMO needs a zone or something in
floating
it
islands.
with floating islands. Oh my gosh. And this is one of the reasons I like Destiny 2
Yeah,
so
I was
much.
gonna say, it's like on Destiny's like, oh, I like this so much. And all these floating islands.
I've said it so many times. Oh, dude, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, so much stuff is floating. You jump around on them and stuff. But Noria and, like, maybe Skylands possibly. I don't know. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But like, as a matter of fact, I don't even know the theme to
avatars.
Noria. I just know that it has floating islands,
Floating
which is why
islands.
it's an honorable mention. Because I have no clue what it's about. I haven't played it yet, but
Cannibalism.
I bought it.
I want to go visit.
But I literally bought it specifically because it's a game about floating islands. No joke. Or I was at least interested in it, and I watched a review, and then it was actually a good game, so I bought it.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Cool.
That could be another top 5, like top 5 things that make you buy a game no matter what.
Wow, that's actually a really good one.
Anyway, so my honorable mention, I did the opposite of what Eric did. So I thought, what would be the games that I want to live there because they're so different than the real world? So my honorable mention is one that I could actually do, and that's Coldwater Crown, where you would go to Ireland and you would fish in the river, in the sea, and in a lake. And so you have these competitions there. I could actually do that,
Fishing competitions.
but I would love to do that. So it's my honorable mention.
Cool.
That's fair. Our number one's drum rolls. Shells over Camelot. No.
No. I want to be a pirate though.
Oh, that's true.
Merchants and marauders. I want to pick up spices and take them on some stupid trip over here and sell them for a bunch. And
So you really want to be a merchant in a pirate game?
no, I'd be a pirate too.
You'd be a pirate.
I'd have to fight stuff.
He
And
just kind of wants to do whatever.
yeah, I want to be in Sid Meier's Pirates game.
Yeah,
Video
pretty
game.
much.
So,
That's actually what he thought about. Then he
Yeah.
realized there was a game.
yeah, but they got a board game version of it. So
Yeah. I have the expansion. We've never played it.
No.
He wants to sing and
One
have
day.
a parrot
Right.
and
And a stumpy leg.
yeah,
stumpy leg.
no eye.
My
Yeah,
son's
one
running
eye.
around right now singing the pirates from the Paw Patrol thing. It's like yo ho ho. It's like Paw Patrol's on a roll. he just runs around singing it the whole time. It's great.
Nice.
awesome.
He's really into pirates right now.
Yeah, pirates are cool.
There's
Yeah, they're cool.
they are cool.
What was that? What was that? Did you ask him?
Pirate
I asked
Ice.
him. Did you ask him?
Who?
What's that little cartoon with the pirate Jake or something?
Yeah,
Jake the pirate.
Jake the Pirate.
Is
Yeah,
that good?
That's a Disney thing, I think, ain't it?
I don't know.
I think it's on Disney. I don't know. I know they got toys for it and stuff, or
That's
they
fair.
did.
They got toys for everything.
Yeah, they used to have toys. I don't know that is it still on?
I have no clue.
Yeah, I know it was on like 4 years ago or so, but yeah,
I might check into it then
yeah.
because he might like that. So
It's either Disney or what's the other one? Sprout. I think it's one
Yeah.
of those two.
all right. So this one, Eric, is going to be a combination of drinking and eating.
You're right.
On vacation.
Because I'm going to be all about myself. Because it's a last will. Because I like to. I'm going to be selfish.
Did you play this game, Matt?
Yes.
Okay,
I-
yeah.
I want to, if my uncle dies and he gives me all this money, I just want to just spend.
Absolutely.
Which is interesting because your normal life is to gather money.
Now I'm spending
Not
money.
spend it.
Right. And I want to be the best at spending so I get more money.
Like Brewster's Millions.
Absolutely.
Yes.
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 Fair enough. My number one, I put the Iron Kingdoms, which is really just War Machine, the
Yeah.
world of War Machine. Because one, Microsoft wants to do something. I don't like it. There we go. Anyway, so one, first off, steampunk, one of my favorite genres.
Mhm.
And having magic, another one of my favorite genres.
Yeah.
And adding like tech to it as well, like a technological aspect of it. They got like guns that fire different bullets that do different things. There's so many cool things in it. And I think it's really easy to get immersed in that if you've played the role-playing game, because you kind of have lived the world. And after playing it and actually living through some of the modules and stuff that they have, it is such a cool world. It is not very fun if you were actually to live there.
Probably not.
Yeah,
But-
you just want to visit.
If I was just visiting,
Spectate.
yeah, or live in for a small period of time without the repercussion of dying.
Right.
Or like if you could go into these worlds and if you do die, you get removed. That would be cool.
Removed forever.
Yeah.
Maybe not that.
Or instant respawn.
Yeah,
Right.
respawn, adrenaline.
Yeah.
So, all right, number one, drum roll.
And my number one is Inish.
Isn't it?
Oh.
Ah.
Because it would be ancient Ireland. It would be amazing for me to go and see that. Plus, I thought about all my other ones on the list are non-violent. You know, I'd actually like to live there because everything would be fine. But in this,
They're battling.
there's battling. But the thing is, you can always call off the battle.
Yeah, like, no, I'm gonna go to my castle.
No, I'm good. I'm going in the Citadel.
We can coexist.
That's right. So I just have to be close to the Citadel. I'd be fine.
Yeah.
Plus, there's all, if I'm thinking about, okay, it's way in the past and medicine just wouldn't be there, and there'd be all kinds of like horrible, I don't know, lice and just just things you'd have to deal with, right?
Right.
Pathogens and everything. But here's the thing: there's Celtic magic, so that all these demigods could come down and just make everything great.
There you go.
So yeah,
That's
it
true.
works out.
That's true. And you can live in a world where the boundaries of each kingdom is separated by squiggly lines.
And give you certain powers.
Every time you walk across the line,
Right.
you start a fight as well.
It's interesting because that
Right.
that weird shape cutout defines that game, and I think gives it a lot of character. I hate it, but it's awesome. Like I do not like this, but I am willing to agree that this has made itself a name.
Yeah,
Because of the look of the game is so unique.
it is. It is really cool.
Yeah.
Tessellation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good word. Well, cool. That's it.